Welcome back to another part of one man building his bike in his living room in the warm. Although it's not that warm. It's not really that much of a living room, other than it's got a sofa and a TV. My goal in this one is to get the forks back on and the front wheel on so I can get it in its wheel chock, as the whole thing's still balanced on a couple of bits of wood. I'm trying not to push too hard because I don't want to lift my frame up at all. That'll end up in a not very nice day. Especially as my phone's upstairs on charge. So my front suspension has actually been upgraded over the OEM. So I put Andreani or Andreani, I'm not 100% sure how you say it, cartridge upgrades in my fork bodies. So that gives me rebound, compression and preload, which the OEM forks had none of that. I remember when I first got this bike and I thought it felt like you was on a boat half the time going around some of the country roads around here. I've left a bit of masking tape. There we go. Oh, there's a bit more. I don't think I can get that bit. Oh, okay now. I'm gonna shut myself in. There we go. Now my headstock's still done up too tight. It's not too tight. It's in between the torques, the top torque and the bottom torque. I don't want it to be able to move too easy. I just want to be able to hold it fairly still so I can drop it into that wheel chock. And I wonder if it's worth putting the top yoke on. Just for now, just hold everything better. Okay. Because then I can set the height of the forks properly. And I'll get an extra pinch bolt to keep everything like nicely done up. Nip them up. Now you want to be really careful when doing up like pinch bolts like this, because you've got aluminium going around the outside. If you do it up too tight, you can snap the aluminium. But if you do it up too tight as well, you can pinch the fork tubes. Now I don't know how much they move, but you can, especially on the top, you can do them up so much that you can't take the fork caps off. The hidden bits of masking tape are everywhere. I thought I'd cleaned all of that out, but apparently not. Okay, I won't route any of them cables through, because that does need to, I've got to take that top yoke back off. Tuck that out of the way. I need to remember that that does go through there. Right. I'll nip all these up.
This bit's crap. I'm not nipping it up with this. Oh, fucking hell, my bike's really unbalanced now.
So I might not notice that I didn't press record while moving it, but you get the idea. I moved it. I put the front wheel in the chock, managed to slide it in, and then I just put the axle in. I managed to get the wood out from underneath the engine, and I put one of the rear sets back on, and I balanced it on a chair, a kitchen chair. And then on the other side I put a jack. So it's just more triangulated now, and now my bike don't rock. I nipped the forks up just so they were around the correct torque. I couldn't. My bit's a bit fucked, and I've got to order another one. I might have been using it to hold a bolt while I blowtorched it a lot, and it kind of messed it up with all the turning and stuff. I've done a few thousand miles now with these oversized brake discs, and having my calipers jacked out from the forks, and I haven't had any problems. My brakes are fucking awesome, like compared to what they used to be. I'm sure if you got a real bike, you've probably got even better brakes, but yeah, they're pretty fucking cool. The discs are nice as well. I like the red bits on them. Those you can guess, I'm fairly easily pleased when it comes to red bits. And then get me bars on the top yoke. On the MT-07, it's easy to take the whole of the top yoke off and keep the bars on. So I might as well get these in place. It's another part off the sofa then. You'll notice they're red. Got to be red. Renful bars. I think they're the ultra low wide ones. There's not a lot of difference in them, other than they're a little bit lower and a little bit wider. I just found they suited my arm length a bit better than the OEM ones. Oh, and of course they're red.
I mean, it might have been a sensible idea. When I took these off, I actually marked where I used to have them. Of course, no. That'd be too much. I can go there. Doesn't matter. We can set. I'm gonna reset everything up on the bike anyway, so it's not exactly the end of the world. I'm not doing these to any specific torque at the minute. I have a go around and torque everything at some point, because I've got a lot of taking off to do. It's just as I can't find my little socket. It's this only 10mm. I always have to use a torque, bigger one. I always put on a really small torque just so I don't fucking tighten the shit out of it accidentally.
All my gauges are still attached to my bars. Like, amazingly enough, my gauges didn't explode from the massive thunderstorm I got caught in. They actually still work. So yeah, I just left them mounted. I still need to think of a place to actually put them. They're a bit rubbish where they're mounted at the minute. I've never really been happy with it. But where do you mount 4 fucking gauges on a motorbike? And they're all fairly important, as it's got turbo pressure, fuel pressure. I guess you could live without the fuel pressure, but I kind of want to know. And it's got oil pressure and oil temperature, and both of those I definitely want to know. Having one of those out of whack is going to be a seriously shit day. The oil temp gauge is quite good. because if you watch your water temperature, by the time your water hits 80 degrees, your oil temperature is like 40. Now, it actually takes probably, if I warm my bike up just by turning it on and then getting my gloves and helmet on, pushing it out and then going for a ride, like, I would imagine I do at least a mile before my oil temperature hits 70. And it's rare my oil temperature goes over 95, even when my water temperature says it's 105. All right, cool. I'm going to leave it there. That's a lot of those little jobs done. The front end's much more stable. Now I've got the back end up off the floor, although it's not really high enough, it will do. It means I can start getting the turbo on, which I'm really excited about, getting that back on, getting the exhaust pipe on and all of that crap, and starting to work out everything that's required for all of that. So, yeah, good place to jump ship on this one. All right, cool. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in a bit.